Laura will arrive. I'm so nervous that I can't sit still. It has been a long time since I last saw her.
Oh my god! Hi Anastasia! How have you been? Look at your face, it's glowing!
Oh, really? Thank you so much, and thank you for making time for me despite your busy schedule, Alora. Lately, life has been great. Maybe this is what people mean by the peacefulness and relief after the SPM examination. I've been working as a retail part-timer too at a big brand retail company. You should come by sometime.
Oh wow! I'm very glad to hear that from you. Before we continue this conversation, let's look at the menu and order ourselves something to eat and drink.
Yeah, sure.
Waiter, you would like to order please? So, Anastasia, I'm so happy that you wanted to see me. You told me that you wanted to ask me something regarding the course that I'm currently taking. Are you interested to know more about the course?
Yes, Alora. Honestly, I've been thinking about this for weeks. Lately, I feel very conflicted about which course I should pursue before making my final decision for my UPU application. Everyone keeps telling me that to follow my heart, and deep down, I feel that LG120 might be the right path for me. But at the same time, I'm scared of making the wrong choice and regretting it later. As you know, I've never been good at making big decisions on my own. So I thought listening to your experience might help me feel more confident.
I completely understand how you feel. Choosing a course is not an easy decision, especially when it can affect your future. What are your main worries about LG120?
My biggest fear is whether I'll be able to cope with the subject. I do enjoy learning English, especially reading and communicating, but grammar has always been my weakest area. Sometimes I feel like no matter how hard I try, I still get confused by the rules. I'm afraid that if I choose LG120, I might feel overwhelmed, fall behind, or lose confidence in myself.
That fear is very normal, Anastasia. I had similar thoughts before I started the course. I assumed that grammar would be very rigid and stressful, but LG120 is actually more structured and supportive than I expected.
Really? Because from the way people describe it, it sounds very challenging and intense. Some of my friends even told me that it's one of the tougher language courses.
It is challenging, but it's designed to help students grow, not to pressure them. In LG120, you don't just memorize grammar rules. The lecturers focus on helping you understand why grammar works the way it does. For example, instead of simply telling us which tense to use, they explain the context, meaning, and purpose behind it. That makes learning much more clearer and more meaningful.
That actually sounds like a better way of learning. I usually struggle when I'm forced to memorize without understanding the reason behind it.
Exactly. LG120 also covers important topics like sentence structures, parts of speech, phrases, clauses, and how grammar functions in real communication. We often analyze examples from everyday situations, academic tests, and even conversations. Over time, you start noticing grammar patterns naturally, not just during class but in your daily life as well.
Listening to you explain it like this makes the course sound more approachable. But what about the workload? I'm worried that there might be too much assignments and deadlines.
The workload is manageable if you stay organized. There are assignments, quizzes, and presentation, but they're spread out properly. Each task is connected to what you learn in class so it doesn't feel random or unnecessary. What I like the most is that assessments actually help reinforce our understanding instead of just testing us.
That's a relief to hear. I've been trying to improve my time management, but I still get anxious when I think about university life. I'm scared that I might not be able to keep up emotionally and academically.
That's completely understandable. University life can be overwhelming at first, but LG120 has a very supportive learning environment. The lecturers are approachable and they always encourage students to ask questions or seek help. If you show effort and willingness to learn, they really appreciate it and guide you along the way.
I really value that kind of support. I don't learn well in an environment where I feel judged or afraid to make mistakes.
Then I think you feel comfortable in LG120. Mistakes are seen as part of the learning process. Plus, your classmates usually help one another, especially during group discussions and revision sessions.
Hearing all of this makes me feel more hopeful. I've always wanted to improve my English properly, not just for exams, but for my future career. I want to be able to communicate confidently and express my ideas clearly.
And that's exactly what LG130 has to develop. It builds a strong foundation in English that will benefit you in many fields, whether it's education, communication, business, or even further language studies. The course doesn't just improve the grammar, it improves your confidence.
I never thought about it like that. I guess I've been seeing this decision as something final and irreversible. Another thing I worry about is whether I'm good enough to be in LG120. I keep comparing myself to others who seem more confident and fluent in English.
Comparison can really affect your confidence. In LG120, you'll meet students from different backgrounds and proficiency levels. Some are good at speaking, others at writing, and some are just starting to build confidence. The course doesn't expect you to be perfect, it expects you to be willing to learn and improve.
That makes me feel a bit lighter. I often feel like I have to meet certain expectations before I even begin. Do the lecturers focus more on exams or do they actually care about students' progress?
They genuinely care. The lecturers often check on students' understanding during class and they encourage participation. They also give constructive feedback which helps you see where you've improved and what you can work on next. It's not just about grades, it's about development.
That kind of feedback sounds really helpful. I learn better when I know why something is wrong instead of just being told that it is.
Exactly. LG120 teaches you how to think critically about language. You don't just learn grammar, you learn how to apply it effectively in writing, presentations, and discussions. It's very useful, especially if you plan to continue your studies or work in a field that requires strong communication skills.
Laura, I honestly feel so much better after talking to you. I was very confused before, but now I feel like I understand what LG120 is truly about.
I'm really glad I could help. At the end of the day, the most important thing is choosing something you're willing to work hard for.
I think you're right. After listening to your experience, I feel more confident about choosing LG120. I know it won't be easy, but I believe it's a challenge that will help me grow.
That's a great mindset to have. And remember, you won't be alone. If you ever need advice or help, I'll always be here.
Thank you so much, Laura. Meeting you today really helped me clear my doubts. I'm glad I reached out to you.
Anytime. Now let's wait for our food and relax a little.